Hi guys, in this video I'd like to share my approach to develop an app, and I'm using ChatGPT 5 with a paid subscription. Just if you take a look at my plan, my current plan is just Plus as a personal plan, and my idea was just to use ChatGPT to brainstorm my idea. So the first thing that I did was to give ChatGPT a role, even though we're thinking it should be automatically done by ChatGPT if you ask it to develop something. Nevertheless, I like to keep giving a role to ChatGPT. So the role was to be a software architect specialized in scalable web application. Always use a state-of-the-art technology for an enterprise business application. You always apply cutting-edge patterns such as solid principle, dry case. You always use the latest technology version available so that it takes always the latest release from software, unless I set something differently. And of course, I have also this kind of prompt already set in my profile. So if in personalization, you can see here custom instruction, developer tone, detailed responses, and knowledge limitation, expertise. Okay, so it knows a lot about me. Also, by sharing my previous chat history, it has more information related to my software development skills and the way I code. So after that, this was my idea. So I wanted to build a web app where I could sell online courses with video tutorials and mentoring. So my courses are mostly video tutorials, coding exercises, and each lesson has attachments such as PDF files with theory and zip files with code. So users can register to buy courses or subscription. They can register as teachers and be able to create courses. Teachers can collaborate and create a course together. Courses belong to different categories. Courses have sections, and sections have many lessons. So a course is composed of sections and lessons. Lessons can be of different types: video, text articles, PowerPoints. There has to be an admin area where a super admin can manage the whole website, and teachers can manage their courses, and students can have access to free courses and bought courses they have enrolled in. The front part must manage course watching, course searching, filtering by category, search bar, login, sign up, and log out. So this is my idea, okay? So I wanted ChatGPT to help me design this website. So it responded me in Italian because that's the default language I'm using, even though I use English for my instructions. But you can see here what it came out with. So architecture, modular monolith with extractable services. So it identified some modules: identity and access with auth, role, and permissions. The catalog with categories, courses, sections, lessons, tags, and search and filters. For the learning module, subscriptions, progress, notes, and quizzes. For the commerce part, prices, subscriptions, coupon, sales, invoices, revenue share between authors, collaboration to create courses, roles, etc. Media pipeline, upload files, transcoding HLS, the storage, CDN, watermark. And so the technology proposal is backend Laravel, because I use Laravel a lot, okay, with PHP 8.3 or 8.4, with Spatie Permission, Cashier, Stripe, Horizon, Scout. Frontend Angular, because that's what I use the most, with server-side rendering, signals, Tailwind. Then DB, PostgreSQL with relational database, cache and queues with Redis, file videos S3 compatible. Then the infra, Docker Compose in dev and in prod AWS with Fargate or Elastic Beanstalk. Observability with OpenTelemetry, CloudWatch entry, and security and compliance, GDPR with Stripe tags for VAT in the European Union. So these are the main entities, users, roles and permission, teachers, categories, courses. There are course categories, it's a pivot table, sessions, lesson assets, enrollments, etc. And here you can see it already created a mini DLL for me with the tables, courses, sections, lessons. So you can see also the type. It came out with that idea. And you can see everything related to roles and permissions, the flux for media, and then the API point, an extract of the API point for auth, catalog, learning, commerce, teacher collab, admin, then the front-end part, etc. And it created the Docker file for me to start developing. You can see here the backend for the queue, the web part, DB with Postgres 16, Redis, and Minio for simulating the S3 buckets. Everything related to SEO, the roadmap, MVP version 1 would be 4 to 6 weeks, okay, of developing, and etc. So I asked to generate a prompt for Lovable so that I could create the whole app in Lovable without specifying, you can see here, any technology. And so this was the prompt that I generated for Lovable, okay, or it was generated by ChatGPT, and I gave this prompt to Lovable. And if you take a look here, this is where I have already developed. So Lovable, first time I gave this prompt, it created the whole look and feel, as you can see here with this color. It already created the catalog part, okay. Also the buy process, it asked me for the Stripe key. So I went to Stripe website, created a sandbox, and got my Stripe secret that it was already saved by Lovable. And you can see here that I can go to my courses. I already bought these courses by going to Stripe. So the buying process works. I already bought all of these courses. You can see here that from export courses, now I have the courses that I've been enrolled to. If I click on my courses, you can see that I have the course list, and then I can click on a course and I can start consuming the course. So all what you see here, it was done with the first prompt and the first free iteration that I had with Lovable. I'm on a paid plan, but I ran out of credits with some other apps, and I'm building this one with the free credits that I have every day. But then I connected the app to GitHub, which means that I can keep on working on this app on my computer by using Gemini, by using ChatGPT or whatever. So I did the same thing to develop it locally and try to compare what I'm able to do with vibe coding with Lovable and vibe coding on my own. So what I did was this. I created a folder and then I created a file called project.md, and this is the prompt. As you can see here, this is the whole prompt that I created for Lovable. So I pasted this prompt in the project.md file. Then I decided to ask the LLM to create a project plan, okay, with all the steps. And I asked it also to create a project progress. So every time there's a feature, it has to tick here every phase and every feature. And then it has to create also for every commit a log that I call step log. And you can see all of the steps that have been carried on during the development on my PC. So why do I need these files for? Let's suppose that I'm working with ChatGPT and I run out of credits. What I do with the next ChatGPT context or session is to say, okay, read the project progress file and the project plan and the step logs. And then read also the latest commits so that you know where to keep on working and what to develop next. And in this way, I can use different LLMs to keep on coding my app. And so this is what I have now locally. If I go to here, you can see this is the website. So you can see here the catalog is already developed. You can search courses and you can filter by any level. Okay, you can apply the filters. You can click on a course and you can see the course CV that I still have to implement all of the lessons I'm playing. So I'm working now on the teacher console. It breaks, so I asked Gemini, now I'm using Gemini to fix this issue. You can see here, now it's working on this issue. So you can see here that this is the project. You can see the core domain and roles, students, teachers, and all of the instructions are here in the project. The project plan is the steps that the AI is going to take to finish the whole project. You can see here, phase 0 complete, tracked in project progress. Phase 1 complete, off, platform shift across API, guards, and front-end flows. Phase 2 in progress, catalog browsing live, offering hardened seeds and fixtures. And you can see all of the phases here step by step. And in the progress, you can see all of the phases that have been finished and every step in every phase. And then in the step log is more or less every commit that was done for every feature. And you can go here and see what it was done. So next time I iterate with any other LLM, then I ask it to read the project plan, the progress, and the step logs so that it knows what's been done and what's the next step, okay? So it came out with this. It was with ChatGPT codex from the command line. It suggested me to use monorepo approach with, you can see here we have apps and we have the API with Nest.js. You can see here, or the SRC, we have a folder for every module, and inside we'll have the decorators, DTO, guards, and then this is for the backend. Then here you can see on the web that we have the Next.js application. We see the SRC folder, the app, we see the catalog, okay, we see the page, with all of the code. Then you can see the dashboard, the teacher, we have the layout, then we have the pages, and we have the components here. You can see all of the components, so that we have small components for the main pages. And then we have here the tests folder, and you can see that we have the API tests, we have the integration spec, and you can see that every feature has the test. Okay, we have also for the offering part, we can see offering controller. We have also so for every feature, the LLM is creating the tests for me because I asked it to, and you can see that we have all the tests here. I also asked it to create a .http file for me to test the endpoints with the PHP Storm format, but it can be used in Visual Studio Code as well. If you take a look here, you can see that I can test by myself all of the endpoints here and create new users, get a new token. So I have this e-learning API, and I also created another file that is called authoring API so that I can test all of the course creation and lessons creation from here also. So I have this file also ready for me. You can see that ChatGPT also created this file environment.md just to see all of the steps to bootstrap the application. You can take a look also at the Docker Compose file. So there were some errors at the beginning, mainly by bootstrapping this image so that it could see the Postgres database with some data, and sometimes Postgres wasn't ready, even if it was healthy. And so here you can see the Postgres image, and all of the configuration data is inside the .m file. So I have the Docker Compose with Postgres, volume, Redis for caching, Mailhog, Minio for S3 files. Then the bootstrap here that you can see here where I feed the database. You can see here the build, the migrate, deploy, the generation of the database, and then the DBC. So every time I destroy the volumes, this script is run, and then I'm going to have fresh data to test. my code. So you can see here the API with a node image. I can change the image if I want to. And all of the environment variables that are passed to the application, like the database URL, Redis URL. The web part for the next application, you can see all of the settings here. The Stripe configuration also to simulate the Stripe call. And if you take a look here at the databases, you can see all of the tables that were created with Postgres. Okay, you can see the categories table, and it's being populated by some data. You can see also the courses table. Okay, so we have also enrollments. We have lesson assets and what type of assets. We have PDF, zip, etc. You can see also the examples here for the URLs. We have the lessons, and you can see that we have the section ID because every lesson belongs to a section and sections belong to courses. And you can see also, let's see here, users, and you can see users data here. Then you can see the roles assigned to users. Then you can see the roles here. For now, we have student, we have teacher, and we have super admin. Then we have the role permissions. So this is the ACL and role ID. And then if you take a look at permissions, you can see here the permission name, the slot, catalog can read, admin can manage, authoring can manage, storage can manage, etc. So this is it. This is the way I'm developing, trying to finish this whole app, both built locally and with Lovable. And then I'm going to compare which one is better and which one took me more time to develop. And then the next step would be also to develop the same thing with ChatGPT by generating the code here. So it suggested me to use Laravel. I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to make ChatGPT generate the whole code for me from this interface. So by paying $20 a month, I'm going to use ChatGPT to generate the whole code for me. And of course, I'm going to copy and paste. And then with Codex subscription, I'll be working on this application that I showed you. Okay, so this is the idea of my vibe coding journey that I wanted to share with you. Thank you. See ya.